grab the links that are there in the chat box that I'll be putting all through the night, okay? The whole idea is that we get together and we connect and we stay connected, because there are awfully too many teachers who are by themselves. They are teaching alone in their school, or they're the only teacher in their town or their village or whatever, and it's very, very, very difficult. It could be an isolating situation, so that's why we have Shop Talk, is so we can get together and empower everybody. Let's go here. We definitely thank our sponsors who allow this to happen, because it does cost money to have this program running. And so the reason it's free for us is because of the French Playground and because of Café Col. So thank you, merci beaucoup. If you have never checked out Café Col, let's just go with that one. I would definitely recommend you do that, because they literally bring a cafe into your école. And it's the best one out there, in my opinion, because it is not just going and making food and eating it. It's the entire process of grocery shopping. The kids have to go through a list. They have to grocery shop. They have to find things. They have to itemize it. They get to make the food. After they make the food, then they have to actually practice ordering the food and receiving the food. And it's the entire cafe experience. So check that out at cafecol.ca. And today's featured product from Educorock, which of course is another sponsor, would be from the crazy new album that we're doing. So please check that out. And this month's song is Pourquoi Take French. And hopefully you have maybe picked up a copy already. It is a new jazz fusion version of the popular song Pourquoi Take French. But most importantly, when you go to that link that I just put out there, you and your students, if your students get together and they make a student-made music video to Pourquoi Take French, you can send it to Educorock or put it up on YouTube and send a link. It could be set on private. It doesn't have to be public. And you can win prizes of $200, $100, and $50 for doing that. And that's fantastic. So you can take that money and you can have a class party, a celebration pizza party. You can do whatever you want with it. So that is something to consider. Okay, so today is Do You Do Grammar? So, the deadline, Sharon, every month, so it's at the end of the month, so October 31st, I suppose, and every month there is a new song of the month, because the new album, Étienne 25, which is kind of like a best of, but it's a remake, because Nate Vedette and Guitariste are the ones who are taking over. They're taking the top 9 songs that all of you guys voted for last year, and they're remaking them into all different types of versions. This is really, really cool. And they're releasing a song every month. So this month was Pourquoi Take French. Next month and that was the first song. We didn't start in September, we started in October. And then the next month, I believe, Danser. So Danser is, it's definitely a rocked up version of Danser. Yes, Sharon, so you can become a millionaire just by getting these songs and participating with your students. So yeah, actually you can, I think there's a thing to order it in advance. I'm not sure. That's a good question, Andrea. And the great thing is you're not just getting the CD, you're actually getting the videos. And so there's brand new videos for each one of the songs. And I might even share with you a rough version of the new video for AES. So you'll actually get to experience what we're going through here at the studio while we're working on the music. We're working on the videos at the same time, and it's a lot of excitement. But because it will be related to this subject, which is do you grammar? So my first question for you, oui ou non, s'il vous plaît, tapez dans la boîte de chat. Please type in the chat box. Yes or no, do you grammar? So let's take a drink here of water. Don't worry, it's water. You unabashedly, unashamed people, look at you all saying we. Absolutely nobody here says no. That is fantastic. So what I would like to do is spend the next, say, 10 minutes even, whatever it is. Whoa, Josh, slow down. How dare you say it's important? You know that there's some people who think that it's not, so be careful. No, I agree with you, Josh. Okay, so here we go. Let's do this. Oh, thank you, Marla. That's cool. Okay, so I would like to hear your voices first. So you can either use your microphones, like Alicia did, and man, your voice was clear. And just say who you are. Just say, hi, it's Alicia here, and just give like a little something. I want you to say something about grammar, or type it in if you don't have a mic. And you're certainly welcome to go on camera if you wish. You don't have to, though. And then let's talk a little bit first. I want to know your feelings about grammar. Just go ahead. Cool, Carrie. I'd love to hear about it. Okay, Margaret says that she teaches it in context. Anybody wants to use their mic, interrupt me. Just say, hi, Étienne, it's me, whatever your name is, and then you can speak. So I'm just going to read what some of you guys are typing then, in case some of you guys can't see the chat box.
Hi, Marla.
Oh, yeah, hi, Marla. Go ahead, Marla. We're listening.
My kids love your videos and your songs, and they come back to me years after. And I feel you have to give the kids a basis before you can just throw them into projects.
Okay.
But they come back later singing them.
Okay. Well, thank you. First of all, I very, very much appreciate that, and I'm very honored and I feel blessed I'm part of your classroom experience. But I love what you just said. You said basis. You said foundation. So you believe that the grammar is the foundation to the language type thing, and something that we probably shouldn't be ignoring?
Absolutely. They go hand in hand.
Okay. Okay, excellent. Awesome.
Hi, Étienne. It's Andrea.
Okay, hey, Andrea.
I totally agree with Marla. It's the basis to any good French program, and my kids come back as well when they're in high school even. I teach grade 6, so they come back when they're in high school, and they said, you know what, I don't remember a lot, but I remember doing some of the songs. I remember some of the neat games that we did that used avoir, for example.
Yes, I love that. And you know what? I love how you added games, because if I caught that correctly, it looks like somebody went to type the word context, but accidentally typed the word contest. And I'm glad that you did, because that is so important. That's like a slip of the tongue that was on purpose, because it's true. So doing grammar in context is very, very important. Because if you teach grammar in isolation, they may not quite remember or know where it actually applies to what they're currently doing in your classroom or anywhere in their future, okay? But I love how the word contest and games came up, because that is an absolutely wonderful way of reinforcing the grammar. And I have a 4-thought process that I want to share, or 4 thoughts that I want to share with you later on, and that's definitely one of them. So that was beautiful. So thank you, yeah. And keep talking. I'm sorry if I interrupted you. So I mean, look at this. Look at these great comments here. I can't even keep up. Okay, so I'll keep reading until you guys, somebody wants to pipe in. No problem. In context, but need for grammar for clear communication. I used to teach verb conjugation, how to do comparative, etc., without any reason to learning those things. Now I've learned to incorporate them. Yeah, and making things more relevant and action-oriented. Thank you. Exactly. We're going to talk about that too, Margaret. Beautiful. I think teaching context, Josh says, is important, but equally important to teach structures and foundations first. Yeah, you know what? I might as well just say this right now before I get to Aaron's comment, is that Nate Vedette himself, Nate Vedette, who is one of the awesome guitarists, the young artists that are working with us on this new album that hopefully you'll see on tour as we come to your city. He is actually in university right now. He's taking French courses in university, at university level. And what do you think the focus is in university? Somebody type it. I want to see how fast you're going to type. What's the focus of university French? Absolutely. Absolutely. Yep. And he's even mentioned this to me, because as he's working on these songs, and some of them are grammar songs per se, right? And he's going, you know, other than, because he's had teachers who've used Étienne or whatever, and he goes, other than that, he never really had broken down lessons on, you know, COD and complément indirect and choses comme ça. He didn't have syntax trees. For those of you who remember syntax trees in 4th year university or 3rd year university, never had stuff like that. And so now students who are choosing to go on into French are now in this really weird situation where for the last 3 or maybe 2 or 3 years, their teachers have been focusing on a lot of oral and a lot of great, amazing action-oriented stuff, but they feel a little bit lost when it comes to grammar. So, wow, that makes things really interesting for them, and not maybe in a good way. Ooh, Andrea, I love that. Contests, and she added the word tests. I'm going to get back to Aaron. I'm marking some things for 9 extended, and they're struggling with writing in the past versus present to describe themselves. Interesting. I love that. One thing I love about the Je me présente with the DJ Delft kit is if you notice the 4 characters that introduce themselves, Jenny Lake, Chantal Flannery, and Jean Bernier and the other dude. Anyways, they use all these present, past, future in the descriptions, and I think that that's really, really important. I think I've shared this before. Oh, I love anchor charts. That's awesome. I love Andrea's, again, her use of the word contests. Wow, that is so clever. That is awesome. Andrea will be co-hosting Shop Talk one day soon. I love quick-witted, funny people. That's awesome. And Julie, thank you. No, I thank you. Actually, that's awesome. For best the typo. Absolutely. We're teachers. We roll with the bunches, right? So we roll with brilliance that like people like you, Judy, have. So that's awesome. So the idea of written stuff too. I love that you are talking about that. There, research proves that language, even as we're trying to teach, if you notice, there's been a lot of focus on oral and listening, right? A lot of focus on oral listening across the world, not just in Ontario, but our colleagues in the States. ACTFL has the, oh my gosh, I'm having a brain freeze, but the achievement chart for ACTFL and everything like that is all based, it's not all based, sorry, but there's a lot of emphasis on the speaking and the listening. Well, here's the deal. The deal is that research proves that language is actually best learned on a bed of reading and writing. I don't know if you know that or not. I'm just going to mute some of your mics, but you can unmute them when you're ready to speak, okay? Just that way, I'm getting some messages that people are having a hard time hearing me. But anyways, is founded on a bed of reading and writing. So it means we can't ignore the reading and writing. And that's why it's very important. When we began to work with Express Lab, we stressed that with them. We said we need to make exercises that have still reading and still have writing exercises, but we would love to still see some more listening and speaking exercises because our students need this practice. So making sure all 4 strands. So our order is really tall. And Sharon says, I find that authentic tasks fall apart if they can't construct a sentence. And that's the thing. That was the interesting thing. And that was something, too, that the reason why when we started the Étienne songs 25 years ago, the very first album before there even was an album, there was a 5-song cassette, okay? And it came with, I'm thinking this, oh, okay, it came with like one of these. Ironically, I have this out. This is like ancient history here, an artifact, hieroglyphics here. But it came with a guide with lots of exercises. The reason being, it's great if your students can be singing, you know, songs or they watch Justin Bieber singing, you know, J'ai A, I, tu as, S, il a, elle a, nous avons, vous avez, il est, elle, ONT. But if they're walking away going, sir, how do I say I again? Or miss, how do I say I? Okay, then in Houston we have a problem. Okay, and not just for people in Houston, everywhere we all have problems. Okay, and you know what I mean. So there has to be practice, and I'm glad that writing was mentioned. Okay, so Joanne says, I agree, Andrea. The basics in math and language are both very necessary. Aha, math. And it's funny because our friend Joanne is teaching in Manitoba. And we have a math crisis in Ontario, Joanne. I don't know if you're familiar with this. And a lot of the blame has been laid on the fact that math is now about word problems, and we're testing them on word problems. And then when it comes down to actually doing math with, what are those things called? Mathematicians forget what they're called. Oh, numbers, yes. When numbers are used, then all of a sudden things fall apart. So I love that some of you are believing that there actually is a correlation there with the math and the language thing. Grammar and language, numbers, math. If that's what you're going with. I think that's really cool. Oh, okay, cool, Aaron. That's awesome. All right. Okay, cool, Andrew. That's awesome. Look at that. I put that extended co-host thing out, and she's like, "Sure, buddy. All right, I'll do it." Um, okay, so Aaron says, "See, my students now, they can do the reading and listening. Or sorry, speaking and listening. It's the reading and writing that there's a concern." Um, awesome. Okay, I bet you I'm way behind on your comments, so forgive me. All right, wow, there's a really heavy statement by Josh here. This is really cool. He feels that the Ontario problem is that they tried to model the French curriculum on language curriculum and whole language. Oh boy, here we go, whole language. Yep. Yeah, don't get me started with whole language. I mean, my own children went through that with whole language. My own children went through the no longer teaching cursive writing. Raise your hand if your own children do not know how to cursive write now. We all now teach students who can't tell time. Put a we down there if you like. Just say what. Put a we down there if you have a student who can't tell time, or if you have students who can't do cursive writing. This was an extension of whole language, and don't kid yourself. After whole language pushed that spelling doesn't count, don't thwart their creativity, don't thwart their creativity, don't thwart their creativity. When all that happened, and then we lost, and we weren't allowed to teach grammar, which was very sad for Étienne, because Étienne has 2 really good English albums called Grammar Jams that I highly recommend you checking out. But anyways, once that whole language thing, it just got worse and worse. It felt like, just my opinion, not yours. Okay, I'm not speaking for all of us. Where now the cursive writing went away too. So Sharon, I'm glad that you love the Allez song. Thank you. That's going to be one of the ones on the new album, and wait till you hear that one. It's going to kick butt. And then there's the dance to it, which we're going to talk about today, actually. There's a specific grammar dance for it. All right. I can't even keep up with you guys. Oh, raising hands, so I'm getting close to you. I'll say, so we're getting some wheeze, some double wheeze. Yeah, a son that doesn't write cursive. Yeah, it's painful for kids who sign their name in the documents. The same thing. So when our son, who's now an adult, started to write stuff and to sign his name, it was he knew how to sign his name because that's one thing he could do cursively. But I mean, it's ridiculous, right? Okay. Wow, that is fantastic. So may I share my 4 thoughts on grammar, and then you guys please keep flooding these conversations. I think you can save the chat log. I know I can save chat log, so I got to remember to do that at the end. And then we'll have all your comments. And if you want an email version, I can email you the comments. It's in a text file, I think, TXT file, so you can get it down. Marla says, I feel that we've dumbed down teaching, and then the kids suffer as a result. So you are not alone. You are not alone. A lot of people feel that way, right? So, hey, there's always time for Michael Jackson. Okay, sorry. We can do a whole segment on Michael Jackson another day, though. All right. All right. So let's. Is everybody okay with me just getting to the 4 points? Is that okay? All right. So number 1. Thank you. Marla and Margaret said yes. So there you go. Everybody with the start of the first name M said yes. So I'm allowed to now. Okay. So thoughts from Étienne's head. Grammar has, here's the 4 points. Grammar has no limits. Grammar is your friend. Don't be afraid of grammar. Grammar is everywhere. And make grammar real. That's 5 points, not 4. But anyways, whatever. Okay, number 1. Grammar has no limits. Keep it in context. So Étienne is not telling anybody to not do grammar. All right. So, oh, Sonia, that's funny. Yes. Yes, I do sing on the side sometimes. Yes. Okay. No, you didn't miss it. Well, you can get the chat log though, Sonia. Okay, so you can ask for the chat log and you can read all what we talked about. Okay, keep it in context. So I'm not saying don't do grammar. And for Ontario teachers, when the new curriculum came out and there was no grammar in the 375-page document, essentially, okay, I'm exaggerating, but when there was no grammar anymore, basically people panicked, right? And then they were like, oh no, what do I do with all my Étienne songs? I love them and my students love them. Okay. And then there was me as Étienne going, I love the new curriculum. This is amazing because this is exactly what I've been doing in my classroom. And then everybody said, what are you talking about? And then that's, of course, where DJ Delph came out of. So it's been a really positive experience. But the thing is, the grammar has nobody has ever said you can't teach grammar. And that's the number one thing to remember. As long as it's taught in context, because research proves that that's the best way to actually incorporate grammar. So you're actually being encouraged to teach grammar. Now, if you have a department head or a French consultant or coordinator who is acting like the blowing the whistle and is a French grammar police, that's a problem because they're not supposed to be stopping you from doing that. You're not supposed to be slamming on the brakes and stopping. No. Okay. If you're being encouraged to do grammar in context, that means that you're being encouraged to do grammar. I just want to open that up for you. Okay. Exactly. And there are grammar suggestions there. Teacher tips, etc. in present, past. Yeah, absolutely. And I encourage you to rely on them. Yes, and Andrea talks about tailoring things to the abilities of your students. Wow, okay, I love these comments. Oh my gosh. Look at these comments. Oh my gosh, Marla, I love that. She shut that door and did what she felt was right. Wow, yes, exactly. I like it too because there's no checklist. Oh, I love these comments. These are great, fantastic. Oh, thank you, Sonia. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is point you to this direction here. Did I even photocopy copy the right link? Well, we won't know until I click on it. So let's see what link I clicked on. It's going to open up together. We're going to see it together for the first time. Together. Okay, yes. Okay. So I wanted to use DJ Delph as an excuse here. So I will give this here to you. If you have the DJ Delph kit, you can look at this on your own. But for those of you who don't, I just want to show you here. Point number one, technically, is grammar has no limits. Keep it in context. So essentially, for those who use the DJ Delph kit, they can actually go to this section called Vitamin Boosts. And before you actually start a life aspect, we don't call them units, we call them life aspects because they're an aspect of life, you can think ahead of some vocab and grammar concepts that you're going to be able to actually cover and incorporate. And fortunately, when you click on any of these little vitamins, these are nice wholesome vitamins, there is actually a video, an instructional video or a music video that actually covers that particular grammar point. So you can sing with your students, you can do activities with that particular video while you're teaching along in context, and then you've got that covered. So it's really, really cool. I know I'm missing some comments, so hopefully you guys are keeping up on comments in the chat box. Right. Preparing students for high school is actually a really, really big thing. I would love to have a shop talk session just on preparing students for high school, and then you getting to have conversations. Those of you who teach elementary, I taught elementary for 8 years. Now I'm teaching high school. I've taught high school now for 17, I suppose, in the 17th year, I guess, in high school. But the point is that talking about bridging the gap and talking about it, there's a lot that elementary teachers they perhaps don't know what's going on in high school, and then we can have more of an open communication because not every board gets the two panels of teachers together. So that's awesome. Josh, yeah, absolutely. I love, Josh, your candor. And we could also do a whole another thing. Can I click on one of the, okay, you want me to click on one of them? Okay, so let me just click on one of them. Let's click on the first one, I guess. Avoir deux. And so, endless shrimp. Okay, so this is for avoir deux, and this is quite simply Justin Bieber singing avoir deux. So if your students don't know who Justin Bieber is, they can do a little research. But this is Justin Bieber here So he's singing J-A-H-U-A-S, and there's Étienne, all right, in a boiler room. We don't need to ask why. They did let him out eventually. That's the important thing. Okay, so what you do with that is many, many numerous things, and we're going to talk about that, okay? So that's a great way of integrating grammar is through these videos. But we're going to talk about more about how to do them even more action-oriented than perhaps if you've been to one of my workshops or sessions or keynote addresses lately, you probably have heard about it, but it bears repeating. And those of you who haven't heard about it, hopefully you'll like this. It's in one of the 4 points that I'm going to go over. So I'm glad that Andrea said that would be a good shop talk thing. I think you're right. I think it really should be. And we have always said it might be an interesting topic also to talk about French consultants, French coordinators, those in those positions. I've worked at a board level at 2 different boards, and so I do have definitely insight on what goes on and what can't go on. It's very complicated, and I know you all love your consultants and stuff like that, but it'd be really interesting to have a conversation about what's going on at that level, because there's a lot of things that you possibly do not know. And I am like Josh. I'm not afraid to tell you the truth. So, okay. Yeah, a bridge discussion sounds really good. Okay, so that's number 1. Okay, so what I'm saying is you can plan ahead about the grammar things that you want to talk about, and make sure you do contests with your context and fun stuff as well. Grammar is your friend is the number 2. If your students are done their work, there are fun grammar type activities that they can do. And this is probably, of all the things that I've had my hand in as Étienne, this is one of the ones I'm most proud of. I don't know what year it was, and it was definitely debuted in the United States, because I used to do a mad amount of conferences every year in the United States. And this is the link I'm going to put here. And what I'm referring to is, if you've always wished you could take the cell phones out of your students' hands, but then put something back in their hands that is a little bit more useful, I think this would be a good tactic. And there's a little pun for you there. Now, Andrea, what do you mean by I'm with Peel, not sure how we can connect? Are you talking about Josh? With Josh, is that what you're talking about? Okay, because Josh and Andrea and anybody that's here, yes, you can have a side conversation. That's what's great about Shop Talk. But I just wanted to jump in and say, yes, you can connect, Andrea, because if you fill out that survey, like Aaron, Andrea, Josh, all you guys, if you fill out that survey, Chantal, who's right here with us right now, she is giving up her time so that she can actually connect everybody together with like-minded teachers teaching the same grades, the same levels, and then she will connect you. And you can do it right here on French Playground, which is right where you're at right now. And you can have your students on camera if you want, or not on camera, it doesn't matter, playing all types of games. It could be Kahoot, it could be Quizlet, it could be trivia, it could be 10. Do you ever play 10? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, stuff like that. You could play it with, we've played it with like 6 schools at the same time. It's insane, with numbers going up to 1,000. There's so many things that can be done. Let her put that together, okay? So yes, you can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Bob the Builder isn't the only one who can say that. Okay, have we looked at the link yet? I put it up for you. Let me just open it up. And these are tactograms. So this was one of the crazy ideas that I had. I didn't invent slider puzzlers, but I came up with the idea of putting subjects, and it's not opening up, is it? That's kind of maddening. Or is it opening up? No, is it opening up? No, it's not opening up. Sorry. Okay, let me just copy and paste it then and see if it works for me if I copy and paste it. But the idea is this can absolutely replace the use of a cell phone, as you will see in about 2 seconds. All right, and here they are. How many of you have seen these before? You can type in a we or type in a no if you've never seen these before. And if you say no, I'll explain what they are. Okay, great. All right, Margaret's got a few. Yay, that's awesome. Okay, well, just when cell phones started coming out, I was realizing that kids love to bow their heads, not in prayer, because that's not allowed anymore. Okay, no, none of this prayer and spirituality stuff. Okay, no, bow their heads, and instead, of course, worshiping their cell phones, right? And so they would, I know, a little funny joke. Okay, anyways, so they would bow their heads, and they were always doing this, and their thumbs going crazy, thumbs. So I always thought, man, it'd be great if we could take it out of their hands and put something in it that was better. And so I came up with this idea of taking slider puzzlers, and just putting subjects, okay? You see ses amis, so it's not just pronouns, it's actually subjects with verb conjugations. And we started off with the big four. We had avoir, aller, être, and faire, right? So those were the first four. And then World of Reading, basically I sold the rights to World of Reading, and World of Reading expanded it to vouloir, pouvoir. They've gone into, I think, other tenses. They do Latin ones, Spanish ones, and these are used all over the world. What a great tool. I highly recommend these, okay? So that was my number 2 thing that I wanted to do. Okay. Oh, I got an amen on my spirituality spiel there. Thank you. All right, so that one's not free, Sharon. Sorry, that one's not free. I wish. If I still had the rights to it, I could maybe go, you know what, Sharon, who's interested in that contest, we get $200 if your students do the student version of the music videos that are put out every month, which is great for the drama and dance compartment or portion of your report cards, you Ontario teachers. But anyways, so that's not free. But what you could do is take all that money that Sharon's going to win, because I think she's the only one that wants to do this contest. She's going to get $200 every month. And you can buy some tactograms. I think that would be smart. So, okay. No problem. Yeah, Sharon, you're awesome. Okay. Well, yeah, I was going to make a joke, but I'm not going to make it. Okay. All right. So I really want to, but I'm not going to. Okay. All right. So next, let's go back to number 3. Don't be afraid of grammar. But if you are, Express Lab can help you. No, Sharon. Okay, my joke, because now you just gave me permission, was that's why your name's Sharon, not Brian. That's all I was going to say. You can leave if you're mad at me now. I am so sorry. I'm sorry. That was the joke that came to my head. But yeah. Okay. Anyways, so sorry. Back to this. Express Lab can help you. So if you have been on Facebook, if you're on Facebook, go to the French Playground Facebook group, join, and go back in time since the beginning of June, and you will see all these amazing videos and activities, and there's literally going to be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of listening, reading, speaking, listening activities, writing. The 4 strands are going to be all covered for you. You do nothing. It's really, really beautiful. Well, you don't do nothing, but do you know what I'm saying? All the work's done for you. So let's just take a look at the list. So I just did a screenshot. This is actually a screenshot. It looks like it's actually a list. It's not. Can you see the list? These are modules, and this is from the secret stash. That it's very small. Okay, let's correct this. Let's correct this issue then. No, I can't correct the issue. Let me go to here and let me go to view. View will help. Zoom. No, this is not sponsored by Mazda. Okay, so here we go. Margaret, is that better? Is that better? Okay. Okay, good. Okay, so let's just look at some of these. Now remember, in 2 weeks, it's the big unveil. We're going to let you see and touch and taste and feel some of these great things that your students will be able to do, which is, like, I just can't wait. Okay, okay. 'Les images du jour is simply 10 Jeu d'image done for you. So your students will literally just go to Express Lab and do the Jeu d'image. If you're a DJ Dell fan, you know what that means. For those of you who might not know what it means, it's part of the bell work. We gave away a full year's worth of bell work at the beginning of the year. Dated, all the links, all the assessment evaluation you need, all the tools your students need. Well, we did basically a digital version of it, 10 different ones for Express Lab. Beautiful. Okay, that's not grammar related though, so let's move on. So des verbes irréguliers au passé composé is done for you already. It's one of the 20. Le conditionnel présent, and don't tell me, but I teach grade 3 French immersion. We don't do conditional. Oh my Lord, you can do it anytime. In fact, it was a grade 1 elementary teacher that taught me this. Core French, grade 1 elementary teacher, who I remember one time I was doing a concert. This was back in early 90s, okay? And well, it wouldn't have been early, it would have been mid-90s. And she's going to me, you know, my students love your song Allez, and I'm going, thank you, that's so cool. I'm glad. That one's fun for me to perform. And she's going, yeah, it's great to see my grade 1 students doing like Le Futur Proche. And I was like, wait, what? You're doing Le Futur Proche with grade 1 students? Are you crazy? Do you not know that's against the rules? You don't do Futur Proche until grade 7. That's nuts, right? Because I actually came out of teachers college subscribing to the craziness that was being fed to me, which is that you do units at certain times. You do cafe units, for example, only in grade 5 and grade 8. That's the only time you're supposed to do a cafe unit. Any food, you don't mention food in the other grades. Grammar is progressive and very, very slow, so that once you get to 7 and 8, you cram it down their throats and they're ready for high school. That's what I was kind of trained, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Again, some people understanding exactly what I'm talking about. So, condition présent, prononcez-les bien is going to be there. Pratique French. Oh, beauty, 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 beauty. And that is with the new one by Nate Vedette and, well, Étienne's there too. But the Jazz Fusion one that you can actually get right now with Nate Vedette and guitarist. Dr. and Mrs. Vandertramp. I love that Étienne song, by the way. That one's a lot of fun. My students like that one. But again, totally covered. So these start with almost every one of these start with a teacher presentation where it actually teaches the concept, and then it moves on to many, many, many activities. Okay? Somebody just activated their mic. Did somebody want to speak? No, they just deactivated it. Okay, didn't know. Feature simple is there, l'imparfait, which a great video. I don't know if you saw the video. I think we posted it for the song J'étais l'imparfait, which is a very, very deep, and it's a sad song, but it has hope in it as well. So that one will be in there as well. Le passé composé as well, with your regular ER verbs, IR verbs, RE verbs is there as well. So a lot of stuff, and then of course, with embedded in some of these things are other grammar points like possessive adjectives and adjectives as well, possessive adjectives. The order of pronouns is going to be there as well. So a lot of them. Okay, so I know I need to wrap up. So here is what's going to happen. Okay, so the modules are up on the board. Andrew was asking what the modules are. So just take a look at your screen. And what I'm going to do is going to go, because we're running out of time, I'm going to copy and paste these last ideas. All right? And I'm going to leave you with this homework. Grammar is real. Make grammar real, and grammar is everywhere. Okay, make grammar real, and grammar is everywhere. So I'm just going to put this, boom, there we go. Make grammar real. Now hopefully you can copy and paste off of the chat log. Let's go here. Yeah, I think it went through. Hopefully you can grab that. But anyways, what you're going to see there is ways of actually taking those Étienne songs and physically doing things with them, using a beach ball, using the floor, doing like a country square line, what do you call those country square dances type things, or like a country dance. We actually move in sync and for a reason and purpose. The famous Skittles activity is also an amazing grammar-related activity. And then finally, I did give to you this here, a rough version of the song AES. This will be the third song released off of the new album, okay? And I hope you like it. I'm just going to play it before we go. Ale, I know, Ale's there. Isn't that great? I love Ale. Wait till you hear what Nate and Guy have done to Ale. Oh my gosh, if you thought it was cool, wait till you hear what they do. But let me just put this up here, and you may not be able to hear my computer and the great guitars that they've added to this song, but I'm just going to play this here and see if you... Okay, the booster packs aren't working. Okay, we'll get to those in a second, Glenn, for sure. Look at the fun new videos. Hopefully you can see these. Let me just show your audience view here. Yeah, you can see it. Awesome. AES, AET. So a lot of you have seen some of these characters from the Express Lab videos. This is absolutely fantastic. We're also incorporating them, because students will be very familiar with them, into these new videos. So these, so Nate, Vedette, Guitariste, Étienne, they've all become animated characters. And hopefully you can, for those of you who have been around, like I've been 25 years teaching, these are some of the video games that we played back in the 1980s, and they're actually incorporated into these videos. So just a lot of fun. Why don't you just type in, if you can recognize some of these video games, please type in to everyone and tell you if you don't. Andrew, you're awesome. And Marla, thank you. Actually, I don't. I have a very, very supportive, incredible wife and family, and I get to be with you, which is fantastic. So yeah, we've got Frogger, we've got Pac-Man, and we've just got, what is the other one? Gallica, which is like a Space Invaders. So the concept of the video is that our three friends, Étienne, Nate, Vedette, and Guitariste, got sucked into these video games, and they're trying to not get eaten by Pac-Man, and they're trying to avoid the lasers of the other games while the song is playing. And the song, wait till you hear the guitars in this one. So that link is there for you. Check it out and let me know. It's not going to be there for very long, just so you know. It's going to be down because this is just a rough model. We're sending it back and forth between studios. So that is an inside view of what we're doing. Yeah, what we're doing. So now you know what it's like. It's what it's like to be, oh, the link to that one? I'll put it back up here. I put it up just a little bit higher there, Marla. And I saw a lot of the very nice compliments you guys were typing. I'm not going to read them because it's kind of weird, but thank you very much. I appreciate your respect, actually. I respect you back for those kind of comments, so I appreciate that very much. So I was looking at the chat box. My eyes are on you now. It's okay. So anyways, thank you very much for joining us today on Shop Talk. I didn't get through everything because somebody's listening to the video. I can hear somebody's listening to the video. Okay, they just put their thing on mute. That's awesome. You know what? Just thank you for joining us. You guys inspire me. You're the reason I don't sleep. I'm not blaming you. I'm just telling you that I'm inspired by you. What I would really love is for you to go to the new album, pick up the new songs, enjoy them with your students, and come join us on tour this coming year. Because I'd really love to see you guys in person. I would love to just have so much fun with you guys, filling stadiums and just rocking and stuff. It would just be my honor and a complete blessing for me. But in the meantime, keep joining us here on Shop Talk. In 2 weeks, we have the big unveil. Oh my gosh, you will see more amazing videos. If you like that little video game video there, it's a lot of fun. All right, wait until you see what we have in store for you, because there's hundreds. Can you count hundreds of listening, reading, speaking, writing activities, and all you do is type in your student's class list, enter it in, and then you click, assign specific activities. You could do flip classroom with it, if you know what that means. You can do homework with it, if you know what homework means. You can actually do computer lab or in-class stuff with them. You are not alone. Do I need to sing it again before we go? You are not alone. I am here for you. Right? So Michael always has to be a part of Shop Talk. So anyways, so that's what they're for. So you go. All your questions about Express Lab will be answered in 2 weeks because we're going to have some of the Express Lab team with us. Yay! Okay, so it's going to be awesome. And please join us tomorrow, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Kahoot. My students with your students, not against, with your students playing Kahoot. Chantal is going to be hosting. So Chantal, do you have that link for them to put the link for the, before we go, the link for you to do that matrix and to get us together? Let me just see if I can dig it up. If you can't, we'll have a race to see who can find it first. I don't know if I can, let's see if I can get it for everybody. Yep, it's right here. Okay, here it is, everybody. Fill out this survey here, and Chantal will take care of the rest. Yes. See, I'm not the only one who works hard. Chantal works hard for you too. So you keep working hard with your students. Your students are blessed to have you. You keep letting us work hard to help you, and we're so grateful to be a part of your school year. Remember, for those of you handing in your annual learning plans, make sure that Shop Talk is written down on your annual learning plan because you are working with us on Shop Talk and creating new and wonderful things every 2 weeks, bi-weekly. All right, so thank you very much. I know you guys got to go. I got to go. Thank you so very much for your time, and I am always available to talk, as Josh said, even on holidays. Crazy. Merci beaucoup tout le monde. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, I'll be here, but otherwise, for 2 more minutes, but otherwise, thank you very much. Peace out. Love ya.